Hi, this is Joanne Hayes, nurse practitioner and director of the diabetes clinic at APD Primary Care. This is an updated video. It's January 2025 on a slightly new process on how to upload the continuous glucose monitor data into a patient's chart and into a note. So this training is specifically for nurses and flow staff. So for the nurses, they would be uploading this data if they had a patient call from a um, patient call about glucose readings or their alarms going off. And so the nurse would want to pull that data into the note before she sent it to the provider. This would be triage calls or MyDH messages. And then for the flow staff, you're going to be uploading this data for patients with diabetes who are coming in for follow-up or for their physicals, and the provider needs this data to review with the patient to make decisions about their diabetes care. So this is a lot of work. There's been a lot of work that's gone into this process, so we understand that it can be cumbersome and a little tricky, and we really appreciate your patience and training in this so that we can get this really important data to review with patients. So first of all, let's just talk about how we access the data. So the continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, have their own sites that we connect to that then allows us to have access to the patient glucose data. So the way that you can get into these accounts is right in EDH. You are going to go up to web links, go down to location-specific sites, and you'll choose APD, and you can either do APD Dexcom Clarity or APD LibreView. So whichever program the patient is using, you would click on that. We're going to start by reviewing the LibreView system first. So once you click on that, you're going to be brought to the account. Each of you will have your own accounts to sign on to these sites to access the data. So the first thing that comes up with LibreView is that you have to put in the country, and then you have to put in the language. You hit submit. Then you have to put in your own account and the password. And once you do that, it will bring up our account, the APD Primary Care account, which it says right here. And then it will bring up the list of patients. So you can either type the patient name in or just scroll through and pick the patient. Once you do that, it will start bringing in their glucose information. And the specific information that we want is you have to click on the glucose report button, which is over here on the right. And that will bring up the report that's called the AGP report. And that is the data, and it's standardized across all the different kinds of CGMs. So this is the report that we put into the chart. It's important to understand that it goes through the whole top part, the overall graph, and then these daily graphs too. These need to be put in as well. That gives us, each part gives us a little bit different information. The new thing that we're doing when we are putting in this data is that we are also going to be reporting the daily lows. We did this in a different way before, but it wasn't very obvious that the patient was having lows with the different reporting. So now we're asking flow staff and nurses and anybody putting this data into a chart to actually also go here into the daily log. And you're going to scroll through it. This is going to be 14 days of information, so each day is its own graph. And anytime you see red, that means that there's a low. And so what you're going to do is cut and paste the days that have lows also into the chart. So for instance, on this is October 21st. You would copy October 21st in, then the 27th, and then here you have 2 days in a row, so you could copy these together as one clip and put it into the chart. So this is an added step now, and it's very important because we're really trying to draw the provider's attention to the low readings. and make sure that they address this as part of their plan. So again, daily log, and then you're scrolling through the 14 days and cutting and pasting any low reports, any days with these red readings in the Libre system into the chart below the AGP report. Now we'll review the Dexcom count. It's very similar, but slightly different. So you're getting into it the same way. You're going up to web links, going down to location-specific sites, and now you would choose the APD Dexcom account. You'll put in your username and your password, which is unique to you. You'll get that account. If you don't already have one, you should ask us about it. And then what will show up is first the list of patients. So you're going to click on the patient name, and then you're going to click on the report here. And once you click on the report, it will bring up another page, and you have to click on AGP. It will bring up actually the overview. We do not want the overview. That's a specific report of Dexcom. We want to have the AGP report, which is a standardized report. So make sure that you have that there. So you will be again doing the entire report, which is the top part, and very important, including the date and the middle overall graph. And then here are the daily reports down here. Each square is a different day. So that gives a big overview of the last 2 weeks. And again, here's the change that we're doing. In our charting and uploading of data is that we are going to be uploading each day that there are hypoglycemic or low glucose events. So similar to LibreView, you're going to come over here and you're going to go to the daily section. And then you can actually come over in Dexcom. It allows you to just pull up the days that have lows. So you can come over to events and click lows and then hit apply. And it will only pull up the days that have lows, and then you can kind of cut and paste it all as one big group. If you don't do that, you'll just have to scroll through each day like in the LibreView and pull them over individually. But this is a little shortcut. So you do daily, events, hit the lows, and then apply, and then it will only pull up the days that have lows, and then you'll cut and paste that part into the chart as well below the AGP report. So the nitty-gritty of how we actually cut and paste this in the chart, we're going to review now. So when you are in the report and you're ready to cut and paste it, you need to shrink it because it's too big to bring over into the chart in one clip. So if you go up to the right-hand corner of your EDH screen, there's the 3 dots. And then you can come down to zoom, and you choose to zoom to either 67 or 75%. That's usually the size that you need to get it all on one page. And then what you'll do is right click and choose screenshot. And then you will cut and paste the entire report into the chart. Above the report itself, so you can do all the cutting and pasting of the daily reports in the AGP, and then above it, you want to type in the smart phrase .apc CGM report. This is also new. And what that will do is it will pull in all of this information above the AGP report. And it first puts in the title that you're putting in a CGM report, AGP and lows. This makes this a trackable report and identifiable so that we can, if we want to pull up all the reports, we can type this in and it will pull them all up, and that it is needed for billing. And then it puts in all this noise here. And you don't have to get involved in this, but this is just some guidance for providers on what they should be looking at the report to help them with interpretation. All of this disappears once they sign their note. So we don't want anybody typing in here because that will mess up whether it stays in the note or not. But essentially, this is just some hints to help the provider with interpretation. So again, above the report, you're going to be typing in .apc CGM report. If the patient is using CGM and they're not using their smartphone, but they're using a reader, we cannot download this data ahead of the visit. you have to do it right during the visit. And what you'll do is you'll collect the reader from the patient, and then you have to go to the computer in the lab in hallway 2, connect the reader with the yellow cord to the computer, and then open up the LibreView or Dexcom Clarity account, and then do the downloads from there. And then all the cutting and pasting and the daily reports and all of that is the same. There are written instructions in the lab on how to do this. And if you have any problems, you can ask for help. But you should be trained in doing this, and it's pretty much the same once you get it connected. And that's pretty much it. That should cover everything for uploading CGM data into the charts. So if you have any problems or questions, please connect with the Diabetes Clinic and we'd be happy to help. And thank you again. We know that this is a lot of work and we really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to patients and to providers.